Hello everyone, Happy New Year. It's the Quiet Engine here. I'm going to be really quiet at the moment just because it's a lovely day and I don't want to ruin it for everyone else out there while I'm waffling on about my old car. Figured it was about time I showed a little bit more of the progress that's been going on with the old boy. As you can see, it's up on jacks. The reason being is because, as you can see, I've removed the brakes. Removed the entire brake drum assembly because I'm going to be giving it disc brakes. I know there's a lot of clutter and mud and everything under there. Just ignore it. It's just where all of the mud that was all caked to the inside of the chassis and such has been cleaned off. Went through, scraped it all off. It's more North Dakota still stuck on this car, even though it's been over here for several years. They just like to cling to their roots. The pink stuff is where I've used some stuff called Genolite to try and get the worst of the rust off. It's only surface corrosion, but at some point I'm then going to go through, paint everything, seal it all back up, much in the same way that I've done the front. And you can see it's the difference between night and day with the front and the back there. But yes, the spindles. I got a disc conversion kit from Speedways. And Speedway sell a 57 to 59 Ford disc brake upgrade kit. And this kit is going to be fine to fit onto the Edsel here. I had hoped to get it done, but unfortunately I was using a reciprocating saw to cut into part of the metal. Can you see? Explain a little bit. On the pieces that actually hold the brakes themselves on, there's a small piece, there's like a metal bracket. It bolts onto here and it bolts straight onto here. It just slots right in. But there's a little piece of metal. Now the funny thing is that on the Edsels, the metal catches up here. On earlier models, it would catch all the way down here. So they adapted the design, and now you still have to cut into it. But I will, like I said, once I've got that cut, I can put the mounting bracket on. For the sharp eyes amongst you, you might have also noticed there's no spring in there. I'm going to be taking out the original springs just so I can lower the car a little bit. I know some people will be saying, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. Well, it's my car and I want to do it. And, you know, at the end of the day, people could turn around and say, oh, don't put disc brakes on it, don't put anything, just restore it as is. And I think there's many people out there whose cars are going to be worth more because people like me do stuff like this to our cars. And they have their factory examples that you can put in movies and everything, and that's fine. But what I do with my car, I want a car that has some character. You know what I mean? I don't want it to just be factory and have not had anything to do with it. I kind of want to show that it's got some of my character in, and you know, and just put a little bit of individuality on it. So yeah, the old brakes have all been pulled off. Now, for those who do this, I'll get down because for once I can actually share some knowledge. Sometimes, when it comes to taking these off, if you look on the back there, some holes for the bolts, right? Because this one was up here like this, and they'll start spinning on the inside of the brake drum. Like, you can take this front bit off, but if you're really lucky, the bolts will hold steady, and you can just pull this whole assembly off in one go. I couldn't do that though, unfortunately. These got stuck, so I had to take the front off, put a flared wrench to make sure that you don't strip the bolt, and then use an impact gun. If you don't have an impact gun, obviously use a breaker bar or something where you can get some heft behind it and just get it to turn around. And it came off, and I did the exact same thing on the other side. Both sides are exactly the same. Whatever I do on one side, I try and do on the other. Just, you know, especially when it comes to the front end pieces. Like I said, I've only given it like a light coat of paint. That's why there's still all the rust and dust and dirt and everything on here. I know there's stuff like this still on it, you know, and I'm sure if I got a chisel, I could probably get all that gunk off. But I figure, why not? It's not doing any harm where it is. I've checked with several people who said, no, it's doing fine if it is where it is. But also, I'm missing a bolt when I was taking the front end assembly off to reseal and repaint all that. The bolt broke. So at the moment I've just got a piece of the old fuel line just wedged in there to remind me and say, oh yeah, you better put that back at some point. But it's looking a lot cleaner than it was. Originally it all looked like this under here. All of it looked like along here from the beginning. And it's all, you know, this got bent at some point. It was in an accident before I even got it. So this end's twisted. How I'm going to straighten it out, I've got no idea. If you've got any ideas in the comments, please let me know. Because the other side's fine. It's only up to, like, about here, where it's twisted. I need to figure out how to straighten it. Local dogs noticed something. There it is. The badge is in pretty good condition. I'm rather happy with that. I do have the front bumpers and everything. At some point I'm going to be putting on a set of front bumper assemblies. Like they're an accessory that go on the front that you put the bumper guards on. This didn't have it, and hopefully it will get it soon eventually. The engine drop obviously has not happened yet. It's still sitting in there, still all seized up and murky, and what have you. I'm fine with that, because the plan is that once all this is done, when I lower it, because I'll have new springs in it to make it go down lower still, I'm putting in a set from a 1992 Ford Aerostar. I got those from, where was it online? It's the one that everyone uses, Rock Auto. I ordered some from Rock Auto, and they'll drop the front end by about 3 inches, so it's going to be real low when it's cruising. But the good thing about it is that means that I can use the standard shocks. I don't have to change the shocks at all, and so I got just a set of replacement shocks again, also got them from Rock Auto. Those will all go back in, and it... You want to know the weird thing? I don't have a cat. Neighbour's cats come and say hello. That's fair enough. I just hope they don't see our dog. But, yeah. I figured it was about time for an update. There hasn't been much done since the last video because I didn't show you this, but all of this has happened since then. Originally it was sitting on its own wheels during the last few videos. But I thought January I didn't get a video out. February I thought, yeah, let's get a video out, let's go for it, why not? I'm sorry if the quality of my videos isn't 100% perfect. Like I said, I got a brand new camera. I'm still trying to see if it's any good for filming, see if the quality's any good. If it is, fantastic, because I've got a tripod. I can make everything look real darn shiny and nice and everything. But also I just do everything improvised. I just go out, turn on the camera, and away I go. I've also got a wiring harness, which I showed in the previous video, so that's going to be going in. One of the things I've been doing today, and the reason why I brought the camera out, excuse me, is, I know, there's some of you professionals out there, oh, it looks terrible, it looks ridiculous, what have you done? That is engine bay paint. And originally these were blue for the firewall, you can see there where I've been painting it. And because I've got a wiring harness, I thought let's get some paint on around here, just so it's underneath. You know, like, it's a bit of a mess. I mean, you can see where there's been some damage there to even the hood latch. What I'm going to try and do is I've got a generic hood latch replacement kit upstairs. I'm going to try and get as many pieces of the original fixtures, like the handles and stuff like that. Keep that on. It's not pretty. Of course it's not pretty. I never said it was going to be pretty. I've oversprayed it, and I know that. You know that. But it's just to try and clear things up, try and get things sorted out a bit more. I'm working on somewhat of a budget, but mostly the reason why I'm working on a budget is because I know that this is going to be expensive. I'll try and see if I can show a shot of in there. There you go. Let's get a little peek at the engine just so you know what I'm talking about. Well, once I've finished filming, I'll take that out. Yeah, well, that's a great start to the video. Well, great show to the introduction of the video. But I took the oil filter out, not the oil filter, the oil drain plug out, so if there isn't any water that's getting caught on this, it's just going straight out, it's not going to be sitting and causing any more damage. I know people will be saying, oh, why have you got it covered up, why haven't you got the hood? I have got the hood, but I wanted to get as much of the engine off as possible, because then that's less weight for me to have to carry. Because I could have put the whole thing on, I could have left the heads on, I could have left the intake manifold on, and I could have craned the whole thing up, but that's a lot more weight. Whereas this way, some bolts on the front to secure it, bolts on the back. I might even, I'll speak to someone and see if there's any way I can loop it in these holes. If I can get a loop or a hook or something in here, I can hold it stable enough and then get it lifted straight up. That'd be fantastic. This is the problem that I had. Like, all these cylinders were going absolutely fine. They were nice and clean, like, you know, even this one. This one looks terrible. This one looks terrible, but I can tell you for a fact, right? Most of that is just gunk that's been left on there. You know, they're not as pitted. Like, this one looks pitted and terrible, but once you run your hand over that and get it all cleaned off, it's fine. But this one, you have a look in there, see? That is the cylinder wall, completely ruined. I'll be honest, I was a little cheeky. I threw in some Evaporust, thinking maybe it'll be okay. You know, I did that with this one. You can see a bit of a better shot there. It looks terrible in one way, but it's not that bad on the other. That bit I haven't even tried to clean off yet. But that one was absolutely terrible. The other side, like I said, the other side was absolutely fine once I got some oil on it and rubbed the side of the walls. All of this like marking came off on the other cylinders and such. This one's pitted, and that means that I've got to pull the whole engine. I know some people will turn around and say, no, just run it, just run it. I'm not going to run it. It's my engine. I want to make sure that it's going to do the best that it can. But yeah, I've got all the bolts out ready to take it out. It's kind of just sat there, and it's held on with the ones that are on with the bell housing. Because of the shape of the engine, it can't slide down any further anyway. But obviously, I'm not going to stick my head under there and put it to chance. If I went under, I'd put stands under there. But yeah, that's the engine. I'll finish up the video and then get this all tucked back away. Just figured you guys deserved a video because it's been a while, and I've seen a few people that have actually asked me and sort of messaged me and said, hey, when are you going to do the next video? I was kind of interested in that, and I thought, well, if people are interested, I'll keep doing it. I'll try and make it so that I've got a video a month. Maybe next time I'll actually sit down and talk a bit more about some of the other bits and pieces and get a chance to show you the inside. I'll have to get a floodlight for that one because boy is it messy in there. But yeah, not much of a great update, just, well, mostly not an update because I didn't show you that much before. But there we go. Brakes, rotors, new wheels eventually at one point, and then lowered, and then out will come the engine. But for now, I'll finish and leave it on the same shot that I started with, or at least try to. So, thank you very much. Also, I want to give a massive shout out. I'm trying to aim for 100 subscribers ideally. To get 53 is phenomenal. I never thought I'd get that far, so thank you so much. Please share, let people know, you know, if you're curious to see a little bit more of this old build going, you know, just, I'd appreciate it. You all take care and you all stay safe. And some shouting and cawing from the peanut gallery there. But for now, you all take care. Bye-bye.